Good evening, and thank you for tuning into Uindy TV News. I'm Ashley Ellison.
And I'm Nate Long.
Uindy TV News starts now.
Human remains were found last week in Bloomington, and the forensic team here at Uindy is helping to identify them. A work crew was clearing land for a housing addition near Acuff Road, just off Kinzer Pike, when they stumbled upon what looked like remains. Neither Bloomington Police or Uindy Archaeology and Forensics Lab would comment about the investigation. The remains have not yet been identified, but we will keep you updated as the story progresses.
Starting off with campus news, the NCAA March Madness Sweet 16 was not the only big basketball tournament this past weekend. Uindy hosted their annual youth basketball tournament for Special Olympic athletes. Nearly 100 players ages 8 to 15 around the Hoosier State came to compete in Nickerson Hall. The event has been facilitated by sports management students and professor of kinesiology, Jennifer Van Sickle. In total, the program includes more than 19,000 athletes and 10,000 volunteers and coaches across the state.
And speaking of sports, this April, intramural sports will be hosting 2 tournaments. The Powder Puff Flag Football Tournament will take place Sunday, April 12th from noon to 5 on the practice field. On Sunday, the 26th, a dodgeball tournament will be held in Ruth Lilly Fitness Center starting at noon. Team registration only costs $20 if you're interested. Visit the link on your screen.
The wrestling team here at Uindy had an amazing season, and I was lucky enough to be able to speak with the team.
Uindy Wrestling is one of the best in all of D2. This season was no different. The Greyhounds wrestling team sent 6 of a possible 10 wrestlers to the D2 National Championship meet. Those wrestlers were Nathan Smith at 125, Braden Lowry at 141, Jackson Hoover at 149, Nathan Conley at 157, Derek Blueball at 197, and Cale Gray at 285. Leading the way for the Southside 6 is Jason Worthen. Worthen just finished up his 16th season as the head coach of the Greyhounds and was a former wrestler for Uindy.
We've done a really good job. Regionals, conference and regionals were the best we've been all year. So what we did worked, and it's been exciting. We're excited for the next couple days to see what we can do.
The national tournament was a 2-day event, March 14th and 15th. The top 8 wrestlers make it to day 2 by winning 2 matches on day 1. Those 8 wrestlers are considered All-Americans. The Greyhounds were off to a rough start, going 1-5 in first-round matchups with Blue Ball, the only one to win. Hoover was able to win back-to-back matches Friday afternoon to make a day 2 run. Blue Ball went 2-0 and was set up to make a run for the title for the 2nd year in a row. On Saturday, Hoover finished up the afternoon 5th in the nation at the 149-pound weight class, receiving All-American status as well. Another win Saturday morning meant Blue Ball was set for a championship match against Henry of Fort Hays State.
I think, and maybe it's just me, but it takes me a long time to kind of like process that stuff. And when I'm in a match, I don't know if I really think about a whole lot. Like I'll take little bits and pieces, and I knew I was going to need to get a takedown and get a bit of a ride and squeeze as hard as I could, leave it all out there. But then as soon as it's over, you try to give some love to the crowd, and then you walk off, and I got to have my family down there and my girlfriend and hug them. So that was really great, and then it finally kind of starts to come over you, and you're like, yeah, wow, it's... As
Blue Ball, the senior, brings home his 2nd straight national championship and ends his career on a high note. For Uindy TV, I'm Nate Long.
Uindy students are putting on a musical this weekend. Vanessa Sanchez with the story.
Get ready for an exciting weekend as Uindy Theater presents Tick, Tick, Boom. I had the incredible opportunity to sit down with one of the lead characters and a behind-the-scenes mastermind to get the inside scoop.
The audience can expect to see a really fast-paced, sharp musical. It's funny. It has really good moments throughout. Again, it's about just a man trying to figure out what to do with his life, so very relatable. But yeah, the hardest part has been definitely the pure amount I'm on stage. I don't leave the stage the entire show. So it's a lot to have memorized and also very big monologues.
Such a big production. It's normally like 3 people, but now we're adding 6 more. I totally thought like, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. We're never going to get it done in April. But it's come together. The only real issue now is just the set. But we have like plan B, plan C, plan D. We're good. But you'll relate to feeling like you're running out of time, or like as seniors, you're like, you really want to like do this thing, but you don't know if you'll be able to do it in time. Maybe you deal with customer service. You'll definitely relate to the annoyance of customer service, or just having like dreams that you really want to achieve, but they may not be within reach right now.
April 3rd to the 5th and 10 to the 12th. You don't want to miss Tick Tick.
Thank you, Vanessa. Speaking of events happening this weekend, the main event I want to know about is the weather. How's it looking, Jace?
You like rain? Well, there's going to be a whole lot of it. As we head into tonight, some storms are going to be heading into the area. I'll get into those chances here in just a second. But it'll still be a little bit warm outside as the storms kick in, as that low-level jet increases as the night hours go on. We'll be seeing a lot bigger rain chances. Looking into what's looking out on the maps, the low-pressure system is currently sat right there over Iowa, Minnesota, and that cold front's going to push through. We're going to get some colder weather tomorrow, but we'll get into that in just a little bit time. This is what it looks like at the time of recording. That right there is the cold front. That'll be our initiator for some of those severe storms heading through about 6, 7 p.m., maybe a little bit later. But this is the chances. This is the current outlook for severe weather. You can see the enhanced right now for Indianapolis, the moderate south, and the high risk, which is very rare, by the way, all the way down towards Kentucky. They expect that it might get expanded as we head into the next few hours. This moderate might get expanded north due to some increasing chances in terms of tornadoes. There is a threat for that. It's a 10% SIG, as they call it, chances for tornadoes. But once again, the further south and west you go, the more chances you will see of a possible tornado or two, especially some strong ones down near Kentucky and southern Illinois. But like I said, we'll get into some of those other rain chances in a little bit. It's going to rain almost throughout the rest of the weekend. We'll get some local news next.
National, local, campus. Headlines you won't find anywhere else. From the White House to your community, we've got you covered. Stay informed and stay connected. Don't miss out on the stories shaping our world. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Uindy TV News.
3, 2. A bill recently introduced into the Indiana House would ban all marijuana advertising in the state. Republican Representative Jim Pressel of District 20 said his community near the Michigan border is, quote, inundated with billboards advertising illegal marijuana. Under the new version of Senate Bill 73, it would be illegal to advertise any Schedule I drug. Marijuana falls under that classification set by the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. Pressel says, we have trucks and mobile billboards that drive around and sit in front of our parks. That's unacceptable, and it sends a mixed message to the consumer that this product is legal in Indiana, which it is not.
Over 100 workers at Caesars Southern Indiana Hotel and Casino are going on strike. The casino made over $240 million in revenue last year, but employees say the casino refuses, quote, fair treatment benefits and remains far apart on other key economic issues. Sandra Ramirez, Caesars employee of 7 years, says that no one wants to strike, but if management continues to disrespect them at the bargaining table, they're ready to demand what they've earned.
A Bloomington man was in bed resting on his phone when suddenly a Gosport man broke into his home with a gun demanding cash. The robber, identified as Sean Hackney, 40, was charged with burglary, robbery, and intimidation, a level 2, 3, and 5 felony. Bloomington police were dispatched on March 24th at 5:03 p.m. for the report. The suspect left the home with a M48 knife, a Colt airsoft gun, and a 10 to 12 inch serrated blade with a machete shape, all totaling to a value of $273. Hackney later admitted the crimes to the police, saying that he didn't expect anyone to be home.
A woman in Wayne County has been charged with 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 1 count of bestiality. 38-year-old Brittany Lynn Sawyer uploaded multiple pictures and videos of child pornography to her cell phone. Sawyer's activity became aware to police first in December. During the investigation, texts were able to confirm the uploaded pornography was from Sawyer. Police reported she posted a video depicting sex acts between humans and dogs. Sawyers told police her boyfriend requested she made a pornographic video with a dog. Sawyer appeared in court on Friday.
Nicholas Fortenberry and his wife Brittany are facing charges for allegedly sexually abusing at least 10 students while Brittany was teaching at schools in Morgan County. Investigators say Nicholas knew what Brittany was doing and threatened the boys, saying that if they stop doing what they're doing with his wife, he will kill them in front of their families. Brittany allegedly told the boys that if they told anyone, she would take her own life. One student says she was paying each teen anywhere from $100 to $800 for nude photos. Another student said he was drugged. She's been charged on 28 counts, and prosecutors have filed to increase her bond from $20,000 to $150,000.
Orlando Mitchell has been sentenced for 66 years for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Crystal Walton. Prior to her death, Walton had called the police numerous times to report Mitchell's abusing behaviors. In 2021, he choked her while 4 months pregnant with their child. In July of 2023, he strangled John Durham, Marion County deputy, to death in the Sally Port of the Marion County Criminal Justice Center. He's facing 2 counts of murder, and prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty. The trial is scheduled August 17th through the 28th.
After being closed for a year and a half to complete renovations, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum reopened today. The museum's president, Joe Hale, spoke on the scale of the renovations, stating that, quote, "You're not walking into what may appear to be an indoor parking lot anymore. We have a museum that's immersive, participatory, and educational." In addition to infrastructure, aesthetic, and lighting changes, the museum is adding interactive exhibits such as a pit stop challenge and racing simulators.
As of yesterday, a portion of Circle Center Mall, along with the Skywalk, is closed for redevelopment. This $600 million development is expected to bring more than 400,000 square feet of restaurant, retail, and entertainment space. 100,000 square feet of office space and residential units will also be added. The goal of this project is to transform downtown into a more vibrant urban culture. It's expected to be completed in 2 phases, the first scheduled to be complete in 2030.
Colin Hilton, chef de cuisine at Cunningham Restaurant Group, has been crowned as the 2025 World Food Champion. Hilton secured this title at the World Food Championships final table event held in Brittonville, Arkansas. Competing against 11 top chefs from around the globe, including participants from as far as Dubai, Hilton emerged victorious and took home the grand prize of $150,000. The World Food Championships will be returning to Indianapolis on October 16th through the 19th at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
The 41st Circle Center Classic will feature the Miles College Golden Bears and the Morgan State University Bears on September 27th. In addition to the game, the MSU's Magnificent Marching Machine and Miles College Purple Marching Machine will be featured in the Battle of the Bands. IBE President and CEO Alice Watson says they hope alumni and news fans alike will come out to Lucas Oil Stadium to support the tradition and to celebrate the talented bands.
Our neighbors in Ohio had an AF2 tornado strike near Orchard Island in Logan County, leaving a trail of destruction that even made its way to Indiana. At least 3 people were killed with multiple injuries reported, including 26 patients being treated at Mary Rutan Health Center. Authorities have described the damage in the Indian Lake area as some of the most severe, with several buildings and an RV park impacted. The storm system also affected Kentucky and Arkansas and left thousands without power and caused dozens of injuries. Now, I'm terrified of tornadoes. Jace, please tell me some good news.
Well, unfortunately for today, those are possible. We could see some of that damage that happened in Ohio here in Indiana today, so make sure to stay weather aware as the night hours progress. But as we head into the rest of the week, the chances of rain will continue, but the tornadoes will diminish significantly. As we head into Thursday, the storms push through, the cold front pushes through. It'll be about 13 degrees cooler tomorrow morning than it was this morning, so a little bit cold outside. As that pushes through, that'll bring some more moisture into the area. But on Friday, a new low becomes present down near Tennessee, and the moisture will be brought up to the north back into Indiana. So some rain through the morning hours and some possible storms in the night hours. Nothing severe expected. Same with Saturday, rain morning hours, storms in the night hours. Once again, nothing severe expected as that low pushes up to the north. But then finally, a high pressure system will move from the Great Plains over towards the east, towards Indiana, and that'll bring some drier and more constant weather heading into Sunday night. There's some rain chances in the morning on Sunday, but the sun will finally pop out on Sunday nights. So once and for all, the sun will become present as the rain finally goes away. It'll be a lot of rain this week. The flood watch is in effect until Sunday due to all the rain that is expected here in the Midwest. Some national news, when we come back.
There's no shot he has time to make that throw. There's no shot he gets away from that.
He's that guy, dude. He is that guy. When it comes to football, Mr. Football, right?
Not a chance he escapes the pocket like that, gets out, makes a throw on the run, on the dot. No way.
He's going to do the same thing to Michigan. Watch it. 10-0 heading into Ohio State. I'm calling it.
You want to bet?
Let's do it.
I'm Caden Colbert alongside Jay Kelton for college sports, pro sports, everything Indianapolis.
A Doge staffer who resigned over racist posts that resurfaced on social media last month was reinstated to oversee the slashing of waste, fraud, and abuse. 25-year-old Marco Ellis posted on X saying, quote, "Normalize Indiana hate." VP Vance's wife, who is also Indian, supports his return, saying that she disagrees with the post, but thinks that, quote, "stupid social media activity shouldn't ruin a kid's life."
An employee for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration describes the massive wave of job cuts at U.S. health agencies as a, quote, bloodbath. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says that 10,000 full-time employees would be cut. Director of the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention said that these cuts will leave our country less safe, less prepared, and without the necessary talent and resources to respond to health threats. Divisions that were targeted include workplaces that focus on health and safety, HIV reproductive health, injury prevention, and smoking and violence prevention.
Europe has a, quote, "strong plan for striking back at the U.S. in response to Trump's tariffs, if necessary." Both Europe and the U.S. have a lot at stake in the escalating trade dispute last year. America was the biggest buyer of European goods, with imports ranging from alcohol to telecommunication equipment. The EU was America's biggest source of import goods last year. China, Japan, and South Korea are getting ready to retaliate tariffs as well, if need be. As of today, a number of tariffs have been unveiled. Countries are getting their plans in place as we speak.
In Denmark, there is widespread anger towards Trump's administration for pushing for the ownership of Greenland. This has prompted many shoppers in Denmark to boycott American goods such as Tesla, Netflix, and Coca-Cola. The community in Denmark is finding alternative solutions to buying American goods, purchasing homegrown products, using apps that inform them of the origin of the product, and creating Facebook groups to warn people about American goods. Sweden is also following the boycott, finding alternatives to American products. In other European countries, boycotts are popping up. In France, there is a, quote, "Tesla takedown protest." These are also taking place in the United Kingdom, Germany, and even some cities in the U.S.
90% of Hawaii's food is imported, and they are now facing significant financial challenges due to federal funding cuts. The U.S. Department of Agriculture cut about $90 million in funding to Hawaii and other Pacific Islanders because of paused funds to DOA. The reduction in funding threatened the livelihood of local farmers and exacerbates food insecurity in the state. The farmers did more than just support 1 to 3 families. They also fed schools and food banks. Advocates are urging state lawmakers to allocate funds to establish similar programs at the state level to negate the impact of these federal cuts.
The orange all-female restaurant Hooters has filed for bankruptcy, but the decade-old brand says they aren't going anywhere. Hooters is related to other restaurants, including Red Lobster and BurgerFi, who filed for bankruptcy amid rough business conditions, including lawsuits ranging from racial to gender discrimination. Hooters closed dozens of locations last year, blaming rising food and labor costs. Hooters is currently evaluating their, quote, company's operational footprint for its company-owned locations, but their re-owned restaurants are here to stay.
A Colorado man is facing 2 federal charges for allegedly firebombing a Tesla dealership and then running from authorities. Cooper Frederick is charged with possession of an unregistered destructive device and malicious attempt of destruction of property. This is not the only Tesla dealership that's been targeted within the last few weeks in an attempt to boycott Elon Musk. The Trump administration is calling these incidents, quote, domestic terrorism.
All I've been thinking about is the weather, which we heard from Jace. I'm personally terrified of tornadoes. How are you feeling about this upcoming weather?
See, you are terrified of tornadoes, but we people in the Midwest have kind of a thing that we always do. Me and my dad and my little brother, we always like to go out and watch. We like to watch the weather, and I will say I have seen a tornado pretty close coming near my house, and I will say it was a little scary, but it's fun. It's fun to watch the weather around us as it comes through.
I personally sleep in socks, sweatpants, and full go clothes with tennis shoes next to my bed, just in case I need to go somewhere. But I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
I mean, 100%
I think it's really cool to look at the weather and how it comes through your house. I mean, when it was raining that hard, the wind, I think it's just a really cool thing to see. You know, you kind of sit back and you kind of think like, wow, like something that's outside of yourself maybe.
You're crazy, but I agree. Thank you for tuning into Uindy TV News.
Be sure to check out all other productions on our YouTube channel and on Xfinity Channel 1096.
As always, have a good night.
And be safe, Indy.